After knocking out our chicken fried steak and knowing how good these Southern cooks are, we knew we had to come and do these pork chops, Southern style. That's right, we're doing another shallow fry on another delicious Southern dish. If you want to see our take on these Southern fried pork chops, then stick around while we dig in.
I can't believe the WALTWINS. They're right there. That's one of them. That's the other one.
I'm the other one. Hey, welcome back. I'm Adam. I'm Brett. And we are the WALTWINS. If this is your first time here with us, welcome. Consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything that we do together. Always cooking. Yeah, we always make that point. I don't know. I feel like I have to say that every time. He says it, not me. Today we are doing one more Southern classic. We're here in the South. We're here in Central Florida. It has been hot. However, lately the weather has been a little bit nicer and it's evening time. The sun is starting to go down just a little bit. We've got a beautiful day just to get this cook on, bro. Yep, and let's do it. So we are gonna be doing these pork chops, which are some of our favorites, a lot of pork dishes. And Absolutely. This one, we're so excited to show you how we do it. Along with this dish, I always love my pork chops with some mashed potatoes. However, yes. We've done mashed potatoes a few times. We did it with our chicken fried steak. Yep. So this time we wanted something a little bit different. A while back, Brett tossed some asparagus on his side, and he told me, he's like, Adam, if you ever want to, let's put them on a side dish again. I'm like, let's do it because I want to taste this deliciousness. That is this garlic and herb type, garlic, butter, lime asparagus with some melted Parmesan cheese on top. Ooh, I always say I make the best asparagus, not to be braggadocious, but my daughters say no bias, so hey. No bias. Yeah. But we're gonna toss both the asparagus and the pork chops right here. If you've watched our channel long enough, you know we are becoming huge fans of this shallow fry. Yep. And we've got the griddle on right now. It is set to medium low, so again, we're at the bottom of medium, the top part of low at about 35 after the hour. And we'll go ahead and temp out for you so you know exactly where we're at right before we start cooking. Yep. But Brett, let's talk about the groceries. What do we got going on today? Here we go. Obviously, the star of the show, we do have pork chops. And today we are using loin chops, center cut, bone in. You can do bone out, of course. That's just fine. Then, of course, we mentioned the asparagus. We'll be using the garlic. And not in the picture here, we will be using butter. And Parmesan cheese will be melted on top and then squeezed with this lime juice. And then for the dredge, we will be using buttermilk, panko breadcrumbs, as well as flour, which also is not in this picture, but it will be a part of it. And then usual suspects for the seasoning, which, in our opinion, is the best way to go. Yeah. Now, if you're not familiar with the usual suspects, we'll go ahead and make sure and put the recipe for that below. It is something we use as a mix, as a seasoning, kind of like salt and pepper, but we use it in our shaker. So that is what the usual suspects is. Like I said, that'll be down below. It is delicious. We use it for a lot of our cooks. Yep. And today is no different. So, Brett, let's go ahead and let's see where we're at and let's get this cook on, man. Cool. All right, so we've got our shallow fry just underway. Forgot to have my camera running for that one. So we started to get that. So that's gonna go right here. Now my oil pulls a little bit. I have had this adjusted a few times. It still pulls there, but this is right where we're gonna be doing our shallow fry. We actually forgot we need to get the far side of the Blackstone going as well because we are gonna be cooking our asparagus there. So as soon as that's up to temp, we'll get that on, but we're gonna do the chops first. Yep, we're gonna throw the chops on first, and so once I'm done handing Adam the chops, I'm gonna change gloves and cooking the asparagus over here. All right, that wisp of smoke has come off, and so this is telling us it is cooking time. All right, so Brett is gonna go ahead and get this going. So he's got the big old chop in his hand. Yes, I do. Ready to go. I've also got the internal thermometer. We're gonna cook these to 145 and then let them rest. And then again, much like we did back when we did the country fried steaks, pushing it down all the way to make sure that we really get it covered with the flour. Also, instead of just cooking on one side until it's like basically halfway cooked and then flipping once, because of the breading, because of the heat of this surface, we will be doing a flip type situation. Right. All right, so we go in, we go buttermilk, and then go back, and it's actually advantage to the bone is that I'm not having to push on the meat to get any of the breading off of the meat. The other biggest advantage of that bone, way more flavor, brother. Oh, yes. I want to make sure that we're getting a good amount of breading on the sides because of the thickness of this. Absolutely. Dude, look at that smoke wisp up. All right, so here we go. I'm about to come and drop this. Are you ready for me to drop this? Oh, yes, sir. And as we usually do and say in our fries, we're going to lay away. So we're just going to let that cook up. We don't want to get it too hot. We don't want it to burn. In fact, I forgot to give our temperature Right now, even with medium low, we're temping mid 500s. Let's drop that down just a little bit. This is cooking really hot. Okay, here we go. Let's bring over some of that oil. Did not mean to flip that everywhere. Just didn't want to grab it with the tongs and pull off some of that seasoning. So that's already starting to brown just a little bit, and we're gonna be really careful because these are thick chops. Yes, they are. Perfect, I just put a little bit of oil. Let me pull some of that over. All right, right there in the middle, brother. Right there, let's keep it right here.
Layaway, and again, now taking these gloves out, and I'm gonna start on the asparagus.
So now that that's breaded both sides, now I'm just gonna keep tossing that to and fro, back and forth. There you go. I realize I threw this down.
We are on an uneven surface right here. We've adjusted the washers, but right here we realize that we just had to move this to avoid the sun, and in so doing on my uneven pavement here, we've got this little slant here.
So I'm putting the garlic on top of that butter, and
that is nice.
Start
GBD.
the base of this.
All right, spread that out. So now I'm gonna lay down my asparagus.
All right, while you're doing that, I'm gonna continue to flippity flop. We did crank the heat all the way down. We wanted to get this low. Did you want to toss the dome down, get that cooking a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good call, dude. Kind of like a convection cook or an oven cook with both of them. The asparagus, once it gets to a point where I can stick my fork in it, it slides right off. That is the consistency and that level of al dente, if you will, that I like my asparagus. And that's when we're going to throw the cheese on to melt. And then, yeah, then we'll be good to go. All right, so these are feeling like they're starting to thicken up a little bit. I pulled some of that breading off, darn it. Man, I love every time turning that and just seeing the sizzle on there. But those continue to cook up. Those are just mouth-watering, bro. Those look
okay,
so
so
good.
as you can see, I'm pushing in and pulling, and they're not even sticking. So now I know these are done and ready for the Parmesan Asparagus.
Sweet. Let's bring them on. So I'm pulling this off a little bit of the direct heat because I don't want any more of this to keep cooking, but we want to let the heat still cook a little bit on here. Oh man, look at that. Oh, jeez. I know you're a huge fan of Parmesan ads, so I put extra. I don't love Parmesan, so we'll see how this goes.
I do.
So in this, I am gonna put the dome down to melt that cheese. Oh, follow me for more recipes. There you go. Oh, man. Look at that, bro. Oh, man.
Now, that is amazing.
The finishing touch on this. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this. There you go. We're just at one. So we're there with this one. So I'm pull that one off. So I was pulling those off. I'm gonna show my last finishing touch on my garlic butter Parmesan crusted asparagus lime juice. Boy, that just took off. The best asparagus I've ever had. I absolutely love this. 138, 140, and 140. We're good, right?
We are good.
All right, so we got both of those pulled.
Kill the heat.
Kill the heat. Look how messy that is.
I cannot tell you how excited
one
I am.
messy cook, man. Well, there it is. My goodness gracious, we got that done up. Whew,
That took a little bit longer than I thought. I do flip it back and forth, and you know what? We started at medium-low, and we cranked it down to low all the way because immediately the breading and that panko just really started to cook a deep brown. It did get deep brown. I was glad we didn't burn it, and we got those finally up to temperature about 142, 143. I pull them off. We let them sit. We make sure the internal temp gets to 145. Continues to cook.
Man, but it is so perfect.
Look at that nice.
Oh man, that's perfect through.
Right, and I can't wait for you to try the asparagus too.
Yes,
So,
I know.
Which
I'm
is
gonna
the side dish we threw on, but let's go ahead.
We're gonna try a bite of the pork first, and then the asparagus.
Deal.
So, but Brett, like we say, it can look amazing.
I think
It
this
like a
looks absolutely amazing.
Southern fried pork
Yes.
chop. It can smell amazing.
It's been smelling amazing.
It's been
from
hard
the
to it's been hard to just
from
do
the
this cook,
get-go.
right? But if this doesn't taste amazing, then this was all for naught. Cheers! I'll eat to that,
My brother.
Pork chop first. Oh my god. That breading.
It does. Now, I do have one takeaway
Wow.
from this, and you had mentioned it because it is so good. The pork is tender. It is. You just sink your teeth right through.
Right.
There is a lot of flavor in the breading, but I feel like I would have liked some usual suspects on the meat itself.
That's what I was saying.
And then that's it. But that's my only takeaway from this
Fair enough. I would
because this
season-
is a good. This is a banger, bro.
I like to season my pork chops majorly. To me, that's the one thing missing. Yes, if you're doing this, recommend season the heck out of your pork before you do this. But that pork is so juicy. But let's taste this asparagus as well, too.
Oh,
my
dude,
brother.
I'm picking up with my fingers, bro.
Oh, I've already
Look at
started
this.
cutting
Look
this
at
up.
this. Help! I need an
my
adult.
Oh man, that is so good. You get like the butteriness, the like the nuttiness that comes in the asparagus. Oh, bro, and that cheese and that hint of lime. Oh,
I'd even be okay putting even more lime on this. But yeah, that's it.
oh, dude. Okay, you know what? We love coming to do these Southern cooks. These have become some of my favorites to do. These Southern home cooked meals. These are so good. So the biggest takeaway, absolutely outstanding. Need a little bit more seasoning.
Yes,
on there.
and it's like Adam mentioned it, and I was like, dude, but I really put a lot of the seasoning into the breading.
Right. So we'll make sure we
But
put that
yeah.
in there, include that in the recipe.
Yep.
Make sure you season that healthy, even salt and pepper, whatever. In fact, I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to this just to bring more
Yep.
of that flavor in that.
Yep.
up. But Brett, aside from coming to cook this amazing Southern style fried pork chop, why else are we doing this?
Because all we do is twin,
No matter what. And with that, we bid you adieu.
And a don't
Forget to like and subscribe. And
griddle on.